So here we are on the Haas stand here at Steelfab in Dubai. GP, I want to find out about the machines you've got here, the VF4. We do see a lot of installations around the world with these machines. What makes them so popular, do you think?
It's more to do with the right size for various kind of industries. It's not just restricted to a normal industry like a die mold or aerospace. It can be used in a variety of industries, like especially in the Middle East, we see this kind of machine going into education, these kind of machines going into defense, this kind of machines going into medical equipment manufacturing. Die mold, of course, is a big part.
I mean, around the world, Haas is a very well-established, recognised brand. Volume of machines they sell is incredible around the world. We talk about some of those points there, but why do you think that they are popular in terms of the markets that they go in? Is it down to their build quality? Is it down to the control systems that you have? What are the resounding features of Haas that make them sell so well?
One is, of course, the control that Haas has. It's one of the easiest control to learn. For anybody who has worked on a Fanuc or a Siemens or a Mitsubishi, learning something on a Haas, it's child's play. So that's why we are very popular in education institution, catch them young. And also the build quality. All the Haas machines are made in the one factory in Oxnard, California. And that creates that the feel for how good quality is made, handmade, throughout the world.
And would you say that the VF4 is, I know we're going to go around the back and look at one of your Y-axis lathes in a minute, but is this a kind of run-of-the-mill, steady workhorse, good selling machine because of its size and what it offers with its, the options that you have?
Yes, like I said, the size for this VF4 is like a 1.2 meter. This is like the right size for even a small shop. Even for smaller shops, we have smaller machines, of course. But this is the right size for really small workshops that we have gone to, let's say in Egypt or in Saudi, for that matter. The second thing is about the accessories, that you can accessorize this machine with so many options, like the 4th axis, 5 axis, the wireless probing, any of these options, any options that you can think of that you would need, you can add on to this machine.
Make the machine more versatile. Now, if we walk around here, GP, I mean, the thing for me is Haas has always been known for its machining centres. That's where it started, didn't it? Its VMCs were really the bread and butter of the company and probably still are. But some years ago, you then changed tact and you started introducing turning centres into the range, of which we have one here, which is the STY. Now, this machine is a very, very small footprint turning centre with that addition of a Y-axis, isn't it? A big popular seller for you?
Yes, this too is very, very popular with industries like the automotive, where they want really small footprint size parts. It's also very popular with the medical industry, where a lot of these machines are running in batches altogether, and the size and the versatility of the control again. It's just a matter of changing your orientation from a milling to a lathe. All the control is the same, absolutely.
Now the thing to me is manufacturers around the world are always looking for as much capacity in a small footprint, which you've obviously tackled here from Haas. But when you do that, there comes a break point when you start to lose maybe stability and stiffness and rigidity. Is this machine, not only small but quite rugged too?
Yes, this is one of our. With our state-of-the-art R&D back in Oxnard, there's a lot of work that goes into how to make the right sort of, the castings, the machining for the castings. All the machining is done in-house. We don't depend on any other shop to do the machine castings. The castings, once they come in, they are aged for more than a month in the factory, and then the designing is done and the redesigning is done. Every so often they improve on the redesigning with using finite element analysis and things like that. So it makes a big difference in terms of how versatile this machine is, how stable this machine is in all sorts of environment. It's not just that it has to be in a cool environment like in California or in Europe, for example. It has also been able to withstand the heat in GCC. It's really hot.
I'm learning something here which I wasn't maybe necessarily aware of, that you are putting a lot into research and development to make sure that not only, let's say, excuse the term, but you're stacking them high and moving them quickly, you're also making sure that you're getting the product right for the end user as well.
For different regions, for example. See, we've had a lot of experience going into countries like India, for example, where the electric power was not very stable, not as stable as in Europe or in US. We've had initial years where there were a lot of spare parts problems or electrical problems. All of that, as years went by, we are now selling probably close to 100 machines a month in India. We have not been able to do this without making sure that the spare parts and the parts are more robust. They are hanging on and they are able to tackle the poor power quality in different parts of the world. So that's one of the aspects. Like in GCC, heat is the biggest problem.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. It's not so hot actually here today. We were hoping it was going to be when we came. In fact, that's why I came on this trip. But when you look at this machine, it's one of many in the Haas portfolio, isn't it? Yeah. The turning centre range now goes up to, I seem to remember, is it the ST40, the 50? How big does the machine go?
Between centre of 2 metre and 15-inch chuck.
Okay, all with the ability to have these additional axes on, the Y-axis and the sub-spindle?
Exactly. Up to 1 meter, you can do the Y-axis as well. Bigger than 1 meter, yes, we have the C-axis.
Okay, now you said 100 machines a month in your market. How many does that mean that Haas are selling around the world a year, do you think? Do you know?
Close to 18,000 machines a year. 18,000 machines a year. And we are on the verge of building another factory in the US to look at going up to 2045. They are considering building another factory in the US as well.
So fair to say you haven't had enough yet. Wow, almost 20,000 machines a year shipped from the US, as Jupu's been telling us. Thank you very much for your time today. Enjoy Steelfab. Have a good show.
Thank you. You too. You have a great time. Thank you.